Hello YouTube, my name is Miles, and I want to show you a prop I made last summer. It took me 2 or 3 months to make it. It's the first prop I ever made. It is the Fallout 3 railway rifle, and so I guess I'll just go over it and show you how I made it. Okay, I took one of my neighbor's shotgun butts and traced it and carved it out of wood and sanded it down so it'd be smooth, obviously, and put these metal brackets on the end. And I don't know if you can tell, but I used brass and copper screws, or brass screws and pins for all the fixins. It's another bracket I found in my neighbor's garage. I wouldn't have been able to make this prop if he hadn't let me use his man cave wonderland of tools and supplies. Put a screw over this, and then I used copper tubing to cover that up so it would look more like the gun in the game. Put this bracket over the top. This was a piece of galvanized HVAC I found in a local hardware store. And now the main barrel is all PVC right here. This is also another piece of PVC that this was glued into. It was all painted with copper hammer-tone paint, so it has this little texture to it. I don't know if you can see that because this camera's kind of shitty. There's a piece of hose that I found that I twisted, make sure it was in a certain position, and I used copper brackets to hold everything down, once again with brass screws. Then we've got, of course, our gauge, which I took apart and I moved the needle so that it would stay in one place. On the front we've got our little screws held in again with, or nuts held again with brass screws. There's a piece of PVC. And for the piece underneath I used sheet metal, and I made the front and the back, and then I wrapped it around. So there's some little holes in the side, but it's not bad looking. I obviously haven't finished. I didn't put the grate on, so there's just foam in here. And it was a weird idea. I kind of go roundabout with everything, but I filled this with foam, and to get this to stick over the PVC, I filled that with foam too. Then I went over with putty and painted it copper on the back again. And this was just because the stock wasn't straight, pieces of wood in the side. But I think it adds to the whole idea of this is something you just made, like in the wasteland. So, there we go. The brackets, once again, made with wood. I had to bevel it a little bit so it would stick to the side, held in again with copper screws. This is brass. They were corner pieces that I cut in half so I could put them on the side. And I couldn't find something to make a trapdoor with, so I used this bolt, as if it was a bolt-action rifle or something. And used copper tubing. It's pretty easy to bend, obviously. The wires that go down the side and into the thing. So, sorry for the shitty video, but here's a first-person view, and tell me what you think. Thanks.